All right, this morning I have the distinct pleasure of being joined with the presenters of yesterday's Skype for Business Server 2019 session. It was the Skype for Business session for Microsoft Ignite this year, and so it was the session to be at if Skype is part of your world at all. Guys, can each of you introduce yourself briefly and tell us what you do at Microsoft? We'll start with you, Paul.
I'm Paul Kennan, and I am the marketing lead for Skype for Business Server.
I'm Vibhor Agarwal. I am the program manager lead on Skype for Business.
Hi, I'm Rahul Gupta. I'm a principal program manager in Skype for Business.
Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit of Skype for Business. I feel like I talk so much Microsoft Teams these days that it is good to take a break and dive back into the on-premises components of unified communications. One thing that I want to call out first that stuck out to me toward the beginning of yesterday's session, which was very well attended. People seemed very enthusiastic and received the message well, I thought. But that was that there is a continued solid commitment from Microsoft that was being presented as far as the on-premises server applications go. Can you talk a little bit more to what Microsoft's commitment is there and what they envision going forward in that as far as strategy goes?
Yeah, so like we all seeing in Ignite, right? Like we are asking or we are encouraging our customers to move to Teams, but we know that there are a lot of customers who are going to remain on-prem for a long time for various reasons. So the Server 2019 release is kind of a commitment from Microsoft for on-prem.
Yeah.
And we're going to have continued, feature value that we will continue to add even post 2019 in cumulative updates.
Absolutely, and it was cool to see some of those.
Yes.
Now, having that commitment is great, but even with that commitment and even with those customer needs that are still on premises, many of those customers are at least dipping their toes into Office 365, Microsoft Teams. Even if it's curiosity or they're starting to move components up there, that's a part of their reality now. And Server 2019 is being designed with that in mind, connections up into the cloud. Can you guys talk a little bit about those specific components? We've known about some throughout the year, but maybe the voicemail aspects and the call data, the connector aspects.
Sure. So there are 4 major features which we release as a part of our hybrid experience actually. So one is cloud voicemail. So if you are an on-premises customer and want to use all the innovations which are in cloud, so we have Azure voicemail on which you can now start putting your voicemail. So from with Exchange 2019 and Skype for Business 2019, all your voicemail will go to cloud. And then from a user experience perspective, nothing changes. It comes back as notification comes back to you on Exchange. So if you are on, if you have an Exchange online or Exchange on premises, you will have that notification. So it's a very seamless experience, and it's a very good feature to have in actually. So that's one feature.
Right.
Then the other feature which everyone loves is call data connector. No. And I know you talked about it.
Yes.
So basically in that feature, we are moving all our call data from on-premises to cloud. And if I'm on-premises user to on-premises user talking, admin has to just go and configure a hybrid connection, do a directory sync, and start moving the data to the cloud. Now, what will happen is we are empowering admins and our help desk users there, where now all the data for Teams, SFB on-premises is combined together at one place in modern portal of Office 365, and they can do all the troubleshooting sitting there. Very simple.
Right, and it looks great in the admin portal right now. Seeing the call analytics on a per user basis, how their quality is looking for the week or the month or whatever, it looks great. So, very powerful feature to have all those analytics put in one place for both areas. Moving past those components, there is the Teams migration piece that has been strengthened. Can we talk a little bit about what that's going to look like and how that's going to enable organizations to more easily move users back and forth between on-premises and Teams, not just Skype for Business Online?
Sure. So, what we have done is there are many people who wants to migrate to Teams or admins, and so we are empowering admins to do that in 2 different ways. One is basically that we are setting up policies where what admin can do is he can set up a policy and say, hey, user, you will be moved. So a notification on Skype for business client will start coming up for the users that, hey, you will be slowly be moved to Teams. That's one. Other is admin wants to move or migrate the user immediately, so he can do that. So we are giving partial commandlets, we are giving control panel experience in UX for moving the users. And once the user is moved, so when he tries to open the Skype for Business, automatically he will get a notification that you move to Teams. With single click experience, the person is moved to Teams, and when he opens up, you are on Teams automatically.
Nice.
So it's a very, very simple experience we are putting in.
And that's great. Simplifying it is a huge part of the game there.
Absolutely.
There was some other features that you showed on stage yesterday that will be coming up in future CUs, correct? What does that structure look like? It sounds like there's going to be a progressive path of cumulative updates where these features will continue to make their way into the products.
Yeah, so Server 2019 release is happening sometime end of this year.
Okay.
And then, sometime in spring of next year, we'll do cumulative updates. So we are still figuring out like what the right cadence for those cumulative updates would be, so that it's.
That was my next question. So you already got it.
So that's.
We knew it was coming to us.
Yeah.
So basically, you don't want to inundate your customers with a lot of updates, because sometimes the IT admins, they don't like frequent updates. So we have to kind of balance out the value that we want to give, and also not inundate them with very frequent updates. So some of the things that we've been hearing a lot about is, so we're kind of focusing on the IT pro experience. So we talked about CIFA util, which is a command line based solution. Today we are going to give actually partial commandlets for that. And the crowd loved it.
Yes, they did. I almost thought we were going to get it.
That was the loudest clapping that occurred.
It was.
Was for CIFA util.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a standing ovation at that point.
I thought I was going to have security
I
up
was
there to
expecting
protect
that.
them.
It was very well received.
Yeah, that's the one. And then even the control panel.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So
I personally clapped extra hard on that one.
Thank you.
And I understand that's a pretty big thing to do.
correct.
Yes.
It's a big investment. So we are actually going to roll it out, periodically in the cumulative update. This is something that we have not done in the past, but now, as we are actually becoming more agile, right? We want to build features where we can actually build a minimum set,
Right.
validate with the customers, push it out, and then kind of incrementally provide that value to the customers.
So at GA, and as was mentioned yesterday, that is right around the corner, almost there, finishing touches, right? At GA, will those features, CIFA util and the admin center, will that be there right away, or will customers expect those in following CUs?
Yeah, so the customer should expect them in following CUs.
Okay.
But what we do is we do have a technology adoption program where
Okay.
customers enroll in, and those are the set of customers who can get preview to the early bits, provide us feedback. Those are the close set of customers that we work with. So customers who are really interested can enroll into our TAP program, and then
Nice.
they can start getting the taste of what's coming.
Yeah, perfect. And speaking of the CUs, you touched a little bit on Skype for Business Server 2015 updates with these CUs that will enable some of these functionality components as well. Of what you covered yesterday, what is coming to Server 2015 in future CUs for those features?
So in general, I think for 2015 CUs, the way it's going to work is we know that a lot of customers today are on 2015, whoever is on server, right?
Right.
Everyone's on 2015
Right,
or
yeah.
13, right? And maybe some of them are on Link 2010 as well.
They're still there. I see
yeah,
it
yeah.
all the time.
So going forward, what we're going to do is all the features that help customers adopt hybrid, adopt cloud.
Yeah.
We want to provide them features where they are. So we are going to enable some of those in 2015 as well. For example, like Rahul talked about the cloud voicemail functionality, we are going to enable them in 2015 as well. Teams migration, we'll enable that in 2015. We are also looking at a large base of customers who are on-prem, how they can leverage meetings in the cloud.
Okay.
So that'll be a good workload to start with if you are,
Yeah.
pure on-prem today. And those kind of things will continue to kind of, plumb back into 2015 as well.
There was some real interest that in after conversations that I was having around that meetings component.
Yes.
Meetings, in my opinion, has been done incredibly well in Microsoft Teams. It's a great experience.
Absolutely.
So that would be really neat to see components of on-prem start to be able to be up there as well as far as meetings go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to talk about some of the features. I'm excited about that. There's a lot that a lot of us are waiting to see. It's going to be cool. Let's talk a little bit in wrapping up a little bit about high-level messaging. What are some of the key components that you would like to relay to all Skype for Business fans out there as far as what's next?
Okay. So essentially, I think the message is, we're reassuring the customers who are on-prem that their on-prem needs will be met. Whatever their customer issues are there, we are going to continue to, provide value. There are some long-standing asks. We are going to continue to roll them out. And in general, the on-prem features will continue to flow. At the same time, we are going to help them actually transition into hybrid, which is the forward-looking strategy.
Yes.
Which is where the innovation is going to happen. So it's kind of, we're taking care of the customers where they are and then kind of helping them move forward in their journey to Teams.
Yeah, I would just add that that's so right. And the thing is, we want to really emphasize to customers, it's move to the cloud at your own pace, right?
There you go.
This is not a opportunity for us to steamroll you onto the cloud.
Right.
The decision was made, we're going to continue to release the product, that we're releasing a server, so you should not, as a customer, be worried about the fact that it's suddenly going to just disappear one day.
Right.
We're going to erase it or some other magical means of making it go away. Instead, we're so committed to the on-premise customers still. But at the same time, we know that innovation is happening in the cloud.
Right.
And for those customers who are comfortable, don't have to be, but if you are comfortable with trying out some of these cloud features, then you'll be able to harness the ones selectively you would like to try. If you want to try one or two, but not three, that's totally okay.
That flexibility is huge for customers, especially when starting to wade into the cloud with these types of workloads. Perfect. Excellent message. It's great to have that reinforced. It's great to have any kind of uncertainty paved over there so that we know where things stand. I appreciate all of you taking time to talk to me about the product today. I'm a big fan of the Skype for Business world, so thank you guys for yesterday's session. Great job, and hopefully we'll see you guys here next year talking about some more Skype for Business enhancements.
Josh, thanks for having us in.
Thank you.